Welcome to the DE Cup Series Season 7. We're at Bristol Motor Speedway, the world's fastest half mile, for 15 laps around this short racetrack. And let's waste no time, let's go down trackside to Kart Racer 56 for today's command.
I'm Carson 56, one of the first ever DE Cup Series race and drivers of the Season 7 DE Cup Series. Start your engines.
And the engines begin to fire here in Thunder Valley. And let's take a look at our starting lineup. On the pole for today's race is Denny Hamlin in the 11, along with Ryan Newman in the 31. And then we have two Penske cars in row 2, Brad Keselowski and Joey Logano. Then we have Kasey Kahne and Kyle Larson in row 3. In row 4 we have Dale Earnhardt Jr. and Kurt Busch. And then in row 4 we have Tony Stewart and our points leader Carl Edwards, along with Paul Menard in the 27 and his teammate Austin Dillon. And then we have Gibbs teammates Kyle Busch and Matt Kenseth, along with Eric Almirola and Clint Bowyer. And then we have Jimmy Johnson in the 48 and Kevin Harvick in the 4, along with Chase Elliott in the 24 and Jamie McMurray in the 1, along with AJ Allmendinger and Greg Biffle. And then we have the 17 of Ricky Stenhouse Jr. and Danica Patrick. And rounding out the field today is Trevor Bayne in the 6. So there's your lineup. It's 25 cars. It's a 15-lap race around this half-mile short track, and we're about ready to get it started. Fifth race of the season is about to get underway. Green flag is in the air for Denny Hamlin. We are green here in Bristol, and the inside lane jams up a little bit early on here. Remember, Bristol, the outside is usually the preferred lane, though here comes Joey Logano early on trying to get a run on the bottom. He will not be able to. Denny Hamlin will lead the first lap. As lap 2 goes here, we see them fly by, everyone moving to that middle lane, trying to make some moves on the bottom. Hamlin trying to pull away from Logano as he will lead the second lap. Ryan Newman now makes an aggressive move, looking for second now from Logano. So we got 2 wide most of the way back. Logano gets another run. He's going to look to the inside this time on Hamlin. He's going to take the lead. Joey Logano to the lead as we begin lap number 4. Kyle Larson has moved into 3rd. Newman's fallen back to 4th here. He's battling with Kasey Kahne for that position. As you see everyone fly by here. 2 wide most of the way back as Kyle Larson's on the move. He's going to try and get around Hamlin on the outside. Hamlin gets sideways. 3 wide here for 3rd as Kyle Larson moves into 2nd. Kasey Kahne's going to take advantage and slip into 3rd place, so a good start for the 5 team today. Newman continuing to try and battle for that 4th spot as Logano leads. We're on lap 6, clicking them away here. We begin lap 7. Logano with a little wiggle. That's going to open the door for Larson. Logano's going to try and arch it through the corner. They make contact off of 2, and our leaders spin to the inside. And a big 2-car crash here between our 2 race leaders will bring out our first caution here on lap 7. As nobody else got any damage, it appears. Let's see what happened to our leaders. Kyle Larson gets a big run on the inside. Logano then was able to really arc it through the corner. Larson maybe thought he was clear, but he did not. He underestimated the type of run that Joey Logano was going to get from that outside lane, and they just closed up quicker than they expected. And a lot of damage on both those cars as they are both running well today, leading the race. But they'll be out early on, and that'll be a tough break in the points for both of them as they were in the top 5 coming into the day. Green flag is back out in the air now. Leader is Kasey Kahne. Newman's battling with him for 2nd, trying to get around that inside. Here comes Denny Hamlin, drives it in hard. Into the wall goes Kahne. Newman is involved. Big crash on the front straightaway. Stewart, more cars piling in. Edwards, Menard, Harvick comes in, along with Chase Elliott and several others, and at least 9 or 10 cars involved here on lap number 10 in what is definitely the biggest crash we've seen this season, as they're just piled up along the front straightaway here. I see Kahne involved, Almirola, Jamie McMurray, Clint Bowyer, Paul Menard, Tony Stewart, Carl Edwards. You can see them all right there. The red flag has been waved here on lap number 10. Let's see what happened again in real speed. You see Hamlin made an aggressive move. Kahne and Newman made contact, got into the wall, and everyone just piled up here. Jimmy Johnson scatters onto pit road to avoid this wreck, and just a lot of cars just piling in on top of each other. Nowhere to go. A lot of people getting run over from behind, not able to slam on their brakes in time. A big hit there for Tony Stewart and Kasey Kahne. You see Kenseth, Dillon slip through just barely. Edwards sandwiched right in the middle of it. Bowyer nowhere to go. Johnson's able to slip through. Biffle able to get by as well. And a tough break in points for a lot of these guys. Carl Edwards was our points leader coming in, and this will definitely not help him. And yeah, that basically sums up all of our reactions to that wreck, as about half the field is now out of the race, but everyone else is going to be ready to restart here on lap number 12. 4 laps to go. Denny Hamlin, our pole sitter, is still leading. He's got Kurt Busch to the inside of him. Kurt Busch now is in prime position to try and take this win away. He gets sideways off the corner. Dale Earnhardt Jr. now is going to sneak into 2nd. We have less than 3 laps to go. Junior looks to the inside. Now he's going to slide up to the outside, trying to get a run on Hamlin. He does. 2 to go. Dale Jr. now with the preferred lane to the outside of Hamlin. Hamlin gets loose. They make contact. Kurt Busch makes it 3 wide. He slips into the lead. Brad Keselowski now is trying to sneak into second. Final lap, Hamlin trying to make a run. Keselowski's in the wall. People still scrambling all over the place. Kurt Busch now has got 2 more corners to try and bring it home. And Kurt Busch is going to do it. Kurt Busch is going to win race number 5 here at Bristol. And a final last couple laps full of scrambling race cars trying to fill any spots that they could, trying to get into any position that they possibly could. Let's see what happened again. How did Kurt Busch take this lead? Look at the 41 out top of your screen. Watch how he avoids the contact between the two. He practically drifts off of turn 2 to avoid the 2 cars hitting the wall in front of him as Denny Hamlin and Dale Earnhardt Jr. racing aggressively could not get it done. Kurt Busch will get his first win of the season. And thank you to all of his sponsors. Let's look at your top 5 here. Kurt Busch with a very strong run today to try and shoot him back up high into the point standings. Denny Hamlin, a good run. He started on the pole, was able to lead the most laps, stayed in the top 5 all day. He finished second. Dale Earnhardt Jr. taking advantage of other people's struggles, gets a strong 3rd today. Austin Dillon with another good 4th place finish, finally able to capitalize on a good running car today. And Brad Keselowski is able to hang on for a top 5 as well. So good day for all of them. Thank you to all of their sponsors. Here are your full results. Jimmy Johnson finished 6th. Kyle Busch and Matt Kenseth with a couple of good, solid top 10s. That'll definitely help them out in the points. We'll look at those in a second. Good day for AJ Allmendinger with the top 10 for that team. There were a lot of cars. Trevor Bayne with an 11th place finish. A lot of those guys were able to avoid that wreck. You see Tony Stewart there in 14th was the first guy involved in that wreck. Kane, Newman, Edwards, all of them really involved in that massive 10-car crash. Joey Logano and Kyle Larson you see there. That was a big hit for them in the points, wrecking early. And here are your point standings. Carl Edwards today came in as the points leader. He will be now 3rd. Kyle Busch and Matt Kenseth, like I said, with top 10s, are able to take over the points lead. Kurt Busch with the win shoots into 4th. Tough break for Joey Logano. He falls back to 10th in points. Kyle Larson, even worse, falls back to 14th. But you can still see all these guys not that far behind that 4th place cutoff. It's going to be a madhouse here these final 2 races before we get to that final cutoff as we head into the 8th race. So again, everyone's trying to get into the top 4 in points. Everyone very close. A lot of ties you can see there. So thank you for watching today's race at Bristol. If you haven't, follow me on Twitter at DECS Racing. I'd really appreciate it. I'll post behind the scenes things there. Race number 6 will be coming from a road course. I'll give you more information on that later on in a couple of weeks. I hope you look forward to that. And as always, thank you all for watching. I'll see you later.